In the year of Lucius Licinius Lucullus, Rome was prosecuting several wars of self-defense, most notably in Greece, where Lucullus himself was commanding the legions. With everyone's gaze directed at the provinces, few could have known that a seemingly inauspicious event in Rome would become the central fulcrum around which the fate of the Republic would turn. The paterfamilias of a venerable patrician house had passed away unexpectedly, and a senator by the name of Vitellius Scaevola had made a bid for the hand of his eldest child. His widow alone believed that Scaevola had poisoned her husband and now strove to take his place and claim his property through marriage. Acting in secret, the widow arranged for her youngest child to be taken out of their villa in the dead of night and smuggled out of Rome.
Did you hear me, Domina? Your body is surely present, but your mind seems somewhere else. Our departure was very sudden, I know, but do not dwell on the past. Better to focus on what's coming at you. I asked the Triarchus how close we are to Lesbos, but he would not give me a straight answer. Indeed. In his defense, there are many islands on this sea, and they mostly look the same. Will you check with the Triarchus? Hopefully he will give you a clearer answer. He told me his name is Geminus. If nothing else, you do have a way of making unreasonable people see reason. You should also go and thank Quintus Aquilinus. I do believe he saved our lives with his timely appearance at the villa. Do not worry. The Vitellius brothers have no reason to do them any harm. Besides, you cannot save them by worrying. Focus on the task ahead. Your mother paid Geminus handsomely to set off in great haste under cover of night. 2 others did board with us, also bound for Lesbos. Young Gaius has been pacing impatiently over there, wearing grooves into the deck. There was a gladiator too, but I don't know where he went. Thank you for bringing me along. It will be wonderful to see my homeland again.
You found your sea legs quickly, Domina.
You handle the sea better than most. I'm glad. You are not my subordinate. Please call me Kaiser, if it isn't too familiar. With all due respect, I'd better not. My subordinates call me Centurio, my superiors call me Aquilinus, my friends call me Kaiser. Ah, she did not keep you apprised. Your mother has secretly been making arrangements with the consul. You will of course not participate in the war in any capacity. You are a woman. That is completely out of the question. One word of advice. I know Lucullus is a friend of your family, but remember, he is the consul, elected by the people to rule all of Rome. It's best if you don't act too familiar with him in front of his men. For many years I was the primus pillis of Legio Prima Italica, which he commands. He needed someone he could trust to get you out of Rome and keep you safe. That position has already been filled by one of my Centuriones. A good man, easily up to the task. My job now is to watch your back and help you settle into your new life. Don't be. I serve the consul, and he has well earned my loyalty. I had a brief talk with that gladiator who boarded before us, just to make sure he won't give us any trouble. He seems to have vanished, though. The young man over there, Gaius, he's apparently the nephew of the other consul, Marcus Aurelius Cotta. He's here to become a tribunus, a mostly ornamental position intended for young patricians to learn about military affairs.
I heard she's running from a senator who wants her dead. Shh! Keep your voice down.
Solway. It is a pleasure. I am Gaius Julius Caesar. Not at all. But keep in mind, I'm not the most experienced soldier either. I was born in Rome, but they say my family is from Alba Longa. That's a long story, my friend. Suffice to say, the powers that be are not fond of me. I have decided that staying in Rome could be, shall we say, hazardous to my health. To be honest, this will be my first proper battle. I did study a lot, though, and therefore I am well versed in matters of strategy and tactics. If you don't play an important part, you will be torn apart. My father used to say. I guess that was his way of telling me to be brave and hopefully not stupid.
What is he looking for?
He's been like this all morning.
What? Yes, Geminus. So, I'm a little preoccupied. You're right. The rowers are getting tired. We should let them rest soon, but that will cause even more delay. Wait. Ah, shit. They're headed straight towards us. They're gonna ram!
Get your father's weapons. Let's see if you're as formidable a woman as Lucullus said. Gaius, are you all right?
I'm fine, Centurio.
Form up! Let's get these pirates off our ship!
Deadly with that thing.
I've lived other lives before this one.
I can get behind them.
Where's that gladiator who boarded with us?
Up there!
Never underestimate the value of an impressive entrance. Only one remains. This was easy. Back to Neptune's asshole, barbarians! Don't be naive. This was no random attack. They were out for blood.
It is quite unusual for pirates to attack any ship, let alone a heavily armed Roman galley. They prefer to attack lightly defended coastal towns instead. It's less risky and more profitable.
Well, let's go talk to the man.
Geminos, you steered us into a trap.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I had nothing to do with it, I promise. They came out of nowhere.
Silence! You utter nonsense! By Mars, it is the sea! How can anyone come from nowhere?
We cannot execute a man based on no evidence. Besides, we need our Triarchus to make it safely ashore.
What do you say, kid? What do you think we should do?
We are close to our destination, and we can reach it without him. If there is a possibility that he is working with the enemy, we cannot risk to let him live. Mercy, doubt, hesitation. These are all openings that the enemy can exploit to kill you. This man's value to us is far less than the threat he may pose.
We are, many of us, important people, on our way to join the action against Lesbos. Is it not conceivable that the rebels heard of us? The Kingdom of Pontus is known to sponsor pirates, to harass and weaken Rome. I do not believe we have any reason to suspect our Triarchus of colluding with them.
Very well. We shall spare his life. But remember, mercy is a luxury you will not always be able to afford.
A wise choice, my friend. Killing the Triarchus of our ship in the middle of the sea would have been inconvenient, indeed.
Thank you. If you ever again need the help of a skilled navigator, I am at your service.
Rowers, up the tempo! And keep your eyes open. Gentlemen, Domina, welcome to Lesbos, the pearl of the Mediterranean.
An ugly nest of pirates.
An impenetrable fortress of pirates, more like. With an infinite food supply thanks to the strength of their fleet.
We shall find a way to limit this infinite supply, then.
You think like an imperator, Gaius. All right, people. This is Lucullus's war camp, the heart of our operations in this territory. You have been seaborne for a long time now. I suggest you walk it off. See the things you have to see, and meet the people you have to meet. The consul waits in the command tent. Don't be too late if you don't want to see him angry. A word.
Shall I leave you alone, Domini?
Stay, Zoe. Your help might be necessary. Shifty? No. I'm trying to be discreet. I want to make sure we're on the same page. You're not here to fight. Your mother has sent you here to be kept safe, away from your family's enemies. To be honest, I don't think it is wise to send one's daughter to war. Actually, I think it's insane. But what I think is unimportant. My job is to protect you. Of course.
Salwe. I am called Bester Tabat indeed. You fight well. I noticed it. You may ask, and I may answer or not. Your name is unusual. Tabat is the name that was given to me by my father. Vesture is the name I took when I earned my freedom. I chose it because I have fought and defeated many beasts. I was born in Mauritania, but I am a Roman citizen. Until I undertook this voyage, I fought every single day in the arena. But wars? This will be my first. I recommend you to not die. Honor matters little. He who stands tall in the end will always be the winner. They say Lucullus has the greatest military mind in Rome. I only know he is consul and imperator, but I don't understand what that means. Ah, like a king, but temporary. I do not remember choosing him. What you call a consul is no different from a king then, at least to me. He will fail again and cause the death of someone you care about. And that death will be your doing. Mark my words.
Domina. I am hungry and my face is wind-burned, but at least both of my feet are planted on solid ground now. Dominus Lucius Licinius Lucullus was a close friend of your father's, and a supporter of your mother's efforts. He is now the closest thing you have to a father. You ought to keep this in mind. Besides a good wine, a warm bath, and a thorough massage, not much. Thank you. But you should think about yourself, Domina. I would get used to my surroundings and visit the consul as soon as possible. We're here to accomplish something. Time to find out what it is. To save your life, of course. She firmly believes the Vitelli killed your father. Sending you here was the best course of action. Most great men of Rome have made names for themselves on campaigns like these, it is true. But you are not a man, Domina. Making a name for yourself under these duplicitous circumstances may not be the safest course of action.
How long are they going to keep us here? It's driving me crazy too.
Saw Agrippa harassing that old Servus with the limp again.
That small-dicked bully. Did you tell the Praefectus?
He won't do anything about it. Agrippa is connected back home.
One day that man is going to...
This is not going to work, as long as the rebels keep receiving supplies by sea.
We will need to cut their supply lines. It's an operation for our occulta speculatoris. Well, don't just stand there like a plant. Come on in. By Jupiter. You are just as beautiful as your mother. This is the unique young woman I was telling you about, Thermos.
Unique, you say? Look, I understand you feel indebted to her father, but...
I don't want to hear but. You must trust me on this. She will be a great asset to my speculatoris. A special cohort assembled for particularly daring undertakings.
Soon enough, you shall see the kind of thing they are tasked to carry out.
Who told you that? Listen. Claudiana is protective as a mother should be, but I know how your father raised you. You will not be best served by wandering this camp aimlessly for the duration of my campaign. Your skills make you far too valuable an asset to waste like that. There will be ample opportunities for that, my young ward. A trial by fire is what you need. Now pay attention. We've been in a deadlock here on Lesbos for some time now. My co-consul, Marcus Aurelius Cotta, is engaged against King Mithridates of Pontus, in the east. Mithridates is using the pirates of Lesbos as his navy.
The fortress of Mytilene here is well protected, but it also has a weakness. There's a mountain pass we can utilize. I will lead the assault myself.
I volunteer for the vanguard. If my uncle can defeat Pontus, I can surely handle Mytilene.
So be it, then. Meanwhile, you will prove yourself as a leader, my young ward. Take Caeso Quintius Acollinus, your Servus Cineros, and that gladiator who came with you on the ship. You will meet up with Iulius Calidus of my legion Speculatores. Your mission is to sneak into the harbor and destroy the enemy ships any way you can. I expect you have questions. You have nothing to fear from Iulius Calidus. I know him well. You can trust him. If you are fast, you may yet play a part in that. But for the assault to succeed, you must do this first. That doesn't make what we're doing any less important. Mithridates has a dozen warriors for each of our legionari. Defeating Pontus will require patience and caution. Regaining control of the Aegaeum Mare is a crucial step in cutting off Mithridates' supply lines. Wait, are those your father's old weapons? I'm sure they mean a lot to you, but look, the leather is brittle. This won't do. Visit my smith Sextus and get yourself properly equipped before you go.
What are you doing walking around with weapons like that, girl? You'd be better off fighting with your hands. This leather is fossilizing. Help yourself to any of the gear on the racks. Take all of it if you need it. I have enough work on my hands right now supplying the consuls Centuriones. You'll have to bring your own materials if you want any work done. I've nothing to spare.
Solway. Does it matter? For the sake of this discussion, let us say he was a traitor. In the end, we are triumphant and the pirates are dead. The Triarchus, if indeed he worked with them, now knows he picked the wrong side. In a war like this, allegiances are rarely about ideology. The common person wants nothing more than to be on the winning side, and we have shown Geminus that the winning side is ours. Fascinating, isn't it? The Legion can build a fortified camp like this almost overnight. In my opinion, that is the foundation of Rome's military might. Wait. Listen, you seem trustworthy. I may have need for your help on a rather sensitive matter. Your caution is well placed, but the sensitivity of the matter is rather personal in nature. I have tried pursuing a solution myself, but to no avail. I've been keeping a detailed account of our journey ever since we left port. Shortly after our arrival, however, the journal went missing. I believe it to be stolen by one of the Centuriones. I'm reasonably sure. The journal might be misplaced, but I find this to be improbable since I write regularly. I have seen a particular man walking out of my tent. As a matter of fact, I have already confronted him and he pretty much admitted his guilt. Pain comes in many forms, physical, emotional, and let us say that some men just enjoy inflicting pain in all forms. The Centurio is called Agrippa, I think. He hangs out with his friends near the tent over there. I thought perhaps you could convince him to hand over my journal. Needless to say, I would like to keep the contents of the journal private. I would appreciate if you'd refrain from reading it.
We're in the middle of something, Domina. What do you want? This? Ah, well, this is priceless. A journal written by Cotter's stupid nephew, who thinks of himself as the greatest commander history has ever seen. Why don't you send him back here to beg for it again? All right. I guess you rich kids stick together. Take it, and let's not speak of this again.
Solway, I see you have successfully retrieved my journal. May I ask how you managed it? What can I say? I'm not surprised. One last question before we're done. Did you read my journal? That is the most virtuous thing to do, and I expected nothing less of you. Thank you, my friend.